Ah, good morning. I'm about to sneeze. And welcome from beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. The line fire is threatening Big Bear, way up higher than here and off to the east by several miles. But so far, beautiful downtown Crestline is safe, and I'm safe. Hi, Jason. Good morning. Welcome in. It's cold. The computer claims that it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see, what is that Celsius? I'm not familiar with Celsius. 60 F2C 15 and a half Celsius. I don't know. I grew up with Fahrenheit. I like Fahrenheit. When I studied the sciences, I had to use, we called it centigrade, same thing as Celsius. It's a digital based on a system of 10. So it's in some ways easier to do the math with Celsius, but I'm familiar with Fahrenheit. Anyway, the fire is not threatening me or my home. It's smoky, but no, I wasn't talking to you, Smoky Kitty. A lot of smoke in the air. But it's okay. I'm okay. A suspected arsonist has been arrested. And the news keeps saying $80,000 bail, but that has been changed because he's considered a risk to reoffend. He can't make bail. He is being held without bail, no bail. He's just being held in jail until his trial. A relatively young man from Norco. Oh, good morning, Pio, and welcome in. Work. I wish I had a job. I wish I could work. I am writing and researching and hoping to put out a few new books soon. But even on that kind of work at home, I'm slow. You got yours on Monday? You just got a job? Wow. Yeah, now my sinuses are going crazy from breathing the smoke. Even when you can't smell the smoke, this close to a major brush fire, there's stuff in the air. I have a sore throat and my sinuses are draining, which is good. Oh, man. Well, congratulations on your job, Pio. Welcome in at Sequentia. Good to see you, too. The line fire started by deliberate action by someone. The arson suspect is in jail. And the sheriff said that it's possible that the man is responsible for other fires as well. We have been very fortunate here in the San Bernardino Mountains. So far, one home has burned, just one. And it was right on the rim, right next to the Highway 18 that comes up the mountain. And that was in Running Springs, which is considerably higher on the mountain than we are. The last major fire, the old fire in 2003, burned several homes in Running Springs and several homes in Crestline, but up on the rim near the downslope that's uninhabited and goes down to San Bernardino Valley. This one has not touched Crestline, but there are several communities that were evacuated because if the fire came closer, it would be really difficult to evacuate their little pockets with one road in and out. So it's better to evacuate before the fire is closer, because their one avenue of escape could be blocked by the fire. So anyway, I'm okay. We're okay here in Crestline. It's getting cold, which is good for the firefighting effort. No more 90-degree weather. It's been, yesterday it was in the 70s, the high 70s. Today it'll probably be in the mid 70s. And we have more humidity. The humidity was, around 10 or lower, and now it's around 20. Hi, Ditch. Welcome in. What a week. This is the fire in the San Bernardino Mountains began on September 6th. This is September 12th. So it's basically been burning for a week, and it's still burning. Over 30,000 acres. I forget how many square miles, maybe around 50. A man from Norco who drives for FedEx, delivering to their warehouses, was arrested on suspicion of arson. He's in jail. He will not be getting out. They won't. Originally, the court set bail, but the sheriff submitted additional information about the risk that the man poses, so he will simply be held without bail. He will not get out. Wow. They know it was arson. The fire was set down in Highland, which is kind of like foothills. In fact, we have 3 major through roads, not highways, not freeways, roads, but they go across the county. We have Baseline, Foothill, and Highland. The community where it started is called Highland. So it's kind of hilly. And then right above Highland, the slopes up the mountain are totally uninhabited. They're national forest. Hi, Witta, welcome in. Those slopes are so steep in many places, nobody can get in. Maybe a mountain goat could, but people cannot, and people's machines cannot. Well, welcome in, Freeman. So where it's possible, they've been using bulldozers to clear all the brush and create lines around the fire. But, you know, burning embers can fly great distances and start little spot fires beyond the barrier where they've cleared all the brush. The guy drives, the arson suspect drives for FedEx. Delivers to warehouses, apparently not to homes. And he's like not a regular employee. He apparently uses his own vehicle and takes stuff to their warehouses. And they suspect he might have started other fires. Now, down in Orange County, that was accidental. The crews who were doing abatement to prevent a fire accidentally started one. And that fire has crept into Riverside County as well. And the one in Wrightwood and Mount Baldy is of suspicious origin, but nothing conclusive yet. That's the bridge fire. That one concerns us more than the line fire that's headed toward Big Bear. Well, welcome in, Angus. Anyway, the suspect lives in Norco, which is around the 91 freeway where it meets the 15, near Green River. The Green River where the that band used to hang out because one of their mothers worked there. Creedence Clearwater Revival. When it was time to relax, they'd go to Green River, and they wrote a song about it. So in that general area is where the guy lives. Yes, ditch CCR, but when I see that, I always think of CC Rider. So I like to say the whole thing. Creedence Clearwater Revival. I'm thinking, and this is just me thinking, there's no real evidence yet, but I'll bet the same guy started the bridge fire that burned up a bunch of houses in Wrightwood, where they have that ski resort. I think it's called Mountain High. Yeah, those ghost investigators often find something they don't know how to deal with. Uh huh. Oh, the Green River killer was brought into the jail in Seattle because they're going to charge him with another murder. Oh, gee, Freeman, that's scary. Uh huh. That was a weird case. It was one guy getting off by blaming the other guy. Anyway, Norco is not far from Green River as the crow flies, but by road it's a long distance. Norco stands for North, Corona. They are a horse community. They all have horses, and they separated from Corona to the south because it was too urban and they wanted to keep their rural horse owning environment. Horses are a big thing in Norco, along with a lot of dairy cows. And you do not want to drink the tap water there. It's full of nitrates from the dairy farms. Well, if you want to know about the zodiac, catch some YouTube videos by Walter Bosley. He really dug deep into it and found other possible victims. Every few years, someone announces they've identified the zodiac, and it's nearly always someone who's dead, so you can't cross examine him. Uh, as far as I know, they haven't caught the zodiac. And at this late stage, he could be dead. It was a big thing in the 1970s. Yes, Angus, he's got to be dead if he was 40 years old in the 1970s. Uh-oh. Well, no, I was in my 20s. Anyway, I never saw the movie Freeman, but if they had it right, they had it right. Yeah, Walter Bosley makes a good case that he killed a teacher at the junior college in Riverside, California. Oh, don't talk to me about lawyers. There are a few that I don't hate, but so anyway, the only problem I have here, Antvelten. I should know that word, but I can't remember it. Alternate world? Oh, no. No, not Antworten. Antvelten. Where'd that post go? Google gave me Antworten. That's answer. No, I don't mean. Okay, let's take that off. Google doesn't know it. Oh, yeah. I think that means alternate worlds. Because Velton is worlds. I'm not watching serial killer movies. Same reason I don't watch the things with Jen or Michael. I did watch the Freddy Krueger movie, the first one. But that's one where I'm going, is it over? Is it over? And it was fiction, which kind of helps, but I liked the concept of dreaming. Oh, that's Anwalt. The T Anwalt is lawyer. Not A-N-T. The T in there, you take out the T, Anwälten. One of the books I read when I was studying German, the first sentence was, it began, what's, I've forgotten the name of the town in Belgium. Oh man, my brain is fried. Cities in Belgium. Antwerp. Okay, Ein Antwerpener Anwalt. The book is called Viele heißen Kain. And you have to be careful. The teacher warned us it is not Kain, it's Cain, Cain from the Bible, Adam's firstborn son. Shame on you, Ditch, laughing at the bloody parts. Well, good for you, Pia, learning German. No, the town Freeman was Antwerp. Antwerp. Ein Antwerpener Anwalt. I've actually forgotten most of the plot, but the lawyer's brother is a bad guy, a criminal. Well, learning another language really does make you smarter, even if you never become fluent in it. Just learning it. It really does make your brain work in a different way, a better way, no matter what the other language is. Oh, and well, I showed the book when I did a quick late night stream to let people know I was okay in the fire. Freeman sent me a book about some role playing game called The Matrix. Oh, yes, Angus, Spanish for me was easy, but I've forgotten most of it. I've even forgotten most of the German that I learned. And I spent a lot more time learning German, studying German, reading German. Well, Pio, learning programming is learning another language. Good for you. I tried to learn programming, but every time I started to get good at one, everyone would switch to another better programming language. Remember when everything was Fortran? I learned Commodore Basic because I had a Commodore 64. I liked that. But of course, no one uses a Commodore anymore. You had to buy the hard drive separately and plug it in, and those hard drives never worked. Tora, quit messing with me. Quit. She thinks she hasn't had enough treats this morning. All right. Seafood medley. You want some? Problem is, when I give Tora treats, all the other cats come running in, and they want treats too. I remember when computerized things were on cards with holes punched in them. I remember a tour of the phone company when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and the switches were physical and they sounded like 1,000 mousetraps going off. The clicking was really loud and hurt my ears. But those were the switches that routed the phone calls. Oh, COBOL and assembly and job control and C++. Oh, Freeman. At Sequentia still has an Atari. I wish I had my old Atari. I could play Pong. And tanks and Space Invaders. I remember when it was upgraded and you could play all these other games, not just Pong and tanks. Yeah. Anyway, our utility bills started coming on these cards with holes punched in them, but they also had, words printed on them. That was weird. We don't need your stinking card with the holes punched in it. We don't have a computer. Like High Sierra, we don't need any stinking badges. Ah, wow. Anyway, it's calm and quiet in beautiful downtown Crestline. And code enforcement never came back to re-inspect my driveway and make sure I cleared out the mess because there was a major forest fire going on. But really, I did clean it up. I was cleaning it up before they tagged me. That's why all that junk was out front. It was waiting for the guy with the truck to haul it away. I didn't need them to order me to get rid of it. That's what I was doing. Remember Dig Dug? And of course, Pac-Man. Dig Dug was kind of fun. I never did play the Mario Brothers games. The games cost too much. I started to learn COBOL to program computers, so of course they switched to something else while I was still learning it. Yeah. Wita, when you clean your emails, just get rid of all the ads where they want to sell you stuff. I did program a simple game on the now I'm blanking again. The Commodore 360. It had 360K RAM and still no ROM. But of course, I had to save it by writing it on paper because even if you got a hard drive, those things didn't work and they cost a fortune. I really miss the VIC-20 where you put in a cassette tape. There is a game where you're trying to avoid a vampire or find a vampire and he's invisible. I don't have time for computer games, Freeman. I just play solitaire and Minesweeper on my computer in the quiet moments. Oh, I got my VIC-20 from a thrift shop. It came with one cassette, and it was really fun. And it worked a lot better than the Commodores with the keyboards. Well, the game I was setting up on Commodore, I called it Spell Bomber, and it was educational. You show a word on the screen that's misspelled, and then the player bombs the letter that's wrong, drops a bomb on it, and then uses the keyboard to replace it with the right letter. I remember floppy disks and the little tiny ones that went in the C drive, which computers don't even have anymore. I gave up and threw out all those little disks that were in a hard case until just a couple years ago. I had a computer that would read them, but now that computer's dead because it had the hard drive that spins and it quit spinning. Well, I deleted all the games off my phone because they were taking too much memory. Tor, get out of my coffee. Get. She doesn't really want the coffee. She wants my attention. Yeah, I don't know what MC Solitaire is, but I got the legacy games, actual solitaire games. Sometimes I do mahjong, but it isn't the real mahjong that Chinese people play. It's just match two with the same picture on them, match two tiles, and they poof, disappear. Knock it off, Tora. Oh, I miss Windows XP. I don't know why they had to get rid of that. It was a great program. Knock it off, Tora. Yeah, that's right. The little discs in hard cases were still called floppy. Knock it off. Yeah, I kind of wanted to try Pokemon Go, but I never did. No, Windows 10 was a bowdlerized version of XP. They ruined XP with that upgrade. But it still wasn't as bad as what we have now. Mm. There were all kinds of stories of people walking off a cliff playing Pokemon Go because they were so focused on their phones they didn't watch where they were going. Well, if it's full of ads and stuff, I get enough ads. I take my computer off the internet to play solitaire so I don't have to watch ads. Yeah, I have Windows 10, and they want me to upgrade to 11, but my computer can't do it, and I don't want to do it. Oh, I had one with XP Pro one time. Oh, that was such a good program. The operating system. Windows 11, they say that Windows 11 has ads. So when you want to start up your computer, you have to watch a bunch of ads before you can use it. And I know there's this thing called Opera that you can use, but I'm not going there. Unless I get another computer that's already running on Opera. Oh, it's Opera is like Chrome, and it's a platform. Yeah, I'm just going with Gmail and Google. I don't want to switch. And then, yeah, there's Linux. People swear by a Linux operating system and an Opera browser. I gotta make the chat scroll up. Part of it's blocked. I avoid things like Mac and iPhones because they're made by children in China, and you can't really avoid it. All the computers have metals that are mined by children in Africa. Jason says there was an earthquake in Malibu. 4.7. Well, let me see. Oh, I wouldn't get an alert for one that's that small. My phone might get an alert, but my computer won't. I had to set the computer to only tell me if it's at least a 6 because it's global, it's worldwide, and I was getting, 20 or more earthquake notices every hour. Let's see. I don't see any earthquake notice on my phone. I have that quake something that's just if there's a local earthquake. Oh no. Oh, never mind. It's not a new fire, it's the one we already know about. Line fire is now 37,207 acres and 18% contained. The thing about Big Bear, by the way, is that near the dam, they have a fire break that's permanent. They've spent years and thousands of dollars building it, so they're relatively safe. All right. Let me ask Google earthquake California today, and they'll give me stuff that happened 16 years ago. 4.7, 5 miles from Westlake Village, a 2.88 miles from Thousand Oaks, a 3.39 miles from Calistoga. Calistoga? That's not exactly close to here. Tonopah, Nevada had that was 3 days ago. And the one in Calistoga was 2 days ago. Okay. But we did have a 2.88 miles from Thousand Oaks and a 4.7, 5 miles from Westlake Village. That's not really close to here, and I didn't feel a thing. More on US earthquake.usgs.gov. Yeah, the 4.7 is in Malibu. Rattles, Southern California. I didn't feel a thing. Wake me up when it's at least a 6. Okay. ABC breaking news. Earthquakes LA on X says it was a 5.1. Here we go. USGS shake. 4 miles north of shake alert system was activated. I'll tell you, a 4, even a 4.7, you can't be sure that it isn't just a great big heavy truck rolling by out on the street. Yeah, it's always the end of time. But, you know. Oh, ditch use DuckDuckGo. Well, okay. They're supposed to be really good and private and all that. Tora and Sweetie need their kitty cat treats. Let me see what I got. You guys, I'm going to run out of treats. I am. The post office sent me a notice that United Parcel Service dropped off a package for me at the post office. I'm not expecting any packages. Let me see what it says. Something from Exact Sciences, care of UPS Supply. There's no picture of it. Oh, it says awaiting from sender. But I can't get any other info on it. Well, when the Mayans end one calendar, they start another. It isn't the end of time, it's just the end of that cycle. It's not the end of time, it's the end of the calendar. Maybe they ran out of room on the stone they were chipping the dates into. Sorry, Freeman, your system crashed. United Parcel is delivering a package to me at the post office, but I'm not expecting any packages. Don't know what that's about. I finally got a bottle of magnesium supplements. Oh, the package is not from Freeman. Okay. I don't know. I'm about to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. Oh, last night, I must have been asleep. And I wanted to get up and go across the room for something. And then I actually woke up, but I didn't know why I wanted to walk across the room, that there was something I needed to pick up or something, because it was part of the dream. So I sat down and thought about it for a few minutes and went back to bed. Oh, Etsy Quintia. John was on the island of Patmos. He was a political prisoner, or of the Roman Empire. But he wasn't talking about what you think. The Matrix book and Phil. I honestly haven't read enough of the book to say anything. No, we were not friends with Hunter S. Thompson. Phil might have met him. I never did. I'm tired all the time now. I think it's because of the air quality. And if I were to evacuate, it wouldn't make any difference, and it might be worse because most of the smoke is settling down below the mountains where all the evacuations are and where my family lives. So I'm probably better off up here with my air purifier and my inhaler and my cats. Yeah, well, Phil was good at talking a bunch of nonsense and people would believe it. He'd make stuff up. He'd read a book review and pretend he'd read the book. He'd read a movie review and pretend he'd seen the movie. No, it wasn't the book, Freeman. It was some shiny object in the dream. Anyway, it's a smoky morning. It's cool, which is good for the firefighting effort. Now my computer says it's 65. Let's see what my thermometer says. Oh, did switch to rolling his own. Yeah. Let's find the thermometer. It says 62. Okay. I'm going to have to clean out the dust and spider webs and cat hair in my wall heater so I can use it. John's gospel and his revelation almost didn't make it into the Bible. The church fathers were concerned about all that weird stuff in his writing, especially the Revelation. And the book of Enoch almost did make it in. Even though it was intertestamental, between the testaments, old and new. It was in the Second Temple period, after the Babylonian exile ended and before the Second Temple was destroyed in 70 AD. The Book of Enoch was probably written around 200 BC, but it almost made it into the Bible. If you read especially the Old Testament, there are things in there where they just kind of refer to something and move on. It doesn't go into detail because everybody knows that stuff. We don't need to write it down. And besides, you couldn't go to the um, stationery store and buy a ream of paper. You had to make either parchment or vellum, reeds by the river, pounded and so forth, and dried in the sun, or animal skin. It was time consuming, laborious, and expensive to get something to write on, and then you had to make your own ink. Pio says it's 11C. My poor sinuses. Okay, let's see. 11C to F, 51, almost 52 degrees. The reason, Freeman, that they excluded Thomas, Philip, and Mary Magdalene was they didn't have them. There were a few copies floating around in Egypt. They never made it to the synod. It wasn't a synod, the Council of Nicaea. They almost did include Enoch. Yeah, papyrus, that's where you pound the river, the weed grasses from the river, pound them together and dry them in the sun. It's made from the papyrus grasses. Hang on a second. Hi, sweetie. Why aren't you running away from me? It's because you have treats, Mom. I know you have treats in there. Kitty cat. How about some party mix? Oh, here comes Smoky Sue. Here comes Smoky Fluffy Tail, hopping down the kitty trail. Ah, gosh. I live on a mountain and I love it. But we do have some problems. There's problems everywhere. You gotta watch out if you want to read the book of Enoch. There are other later books of Enoch that are, like Second Enoch and Third Enoch. They are not the ones you want. You want First Enoch, the one about the Watchers. At Sequentia. I keep seeing ET and I'm thinking extraterrestrial. It's at Sequentia. So apparently, there are good watchers and bad watchers. Traditionally, 200 of the watchers, we would probably call them angels, 200 fell and mated with human women and created the giants that ate people. That could be true, Ditch. I have extraterrestrials in the chat. I think we're all extraterrestrials. I think humans came from another planet in this solar system, not out by Zeta Reticuli. Well, at Sequentia, send me an email and I'll connect you with Witta. Did I welcome Witta in? Oh, all of you are welcome. Anytime I'm online or on live. Tora, get out of my stuff. You're fat. You don't need more treats. They probably want me to open a can anyway. Let's do that. Kitty cat. Yeah, they're pretty kitties. Are you gonna let me shut the door? It's cold. And smoky. Not the kitty. Oh, here comes Tracy. She was outside and she heard me opening a can. Look out, Tora. Look out. If I walk past them, they'll run outside. Oh, well. I like fresh air, but, even if I keep the door shut and run the air purifier and the humidifier, there's stuff inside that's bad air, too. Ditch says, My cat needs extra treats. She's been killing the crickets who have been making my life hell. Good kitty. When they talk about UFOs and they ask, well, if they're real, why haven't they landed on the White House lawn? Well, in 1952, they tried to land on the White House lawn, but the Air Force kept sending out fighter jets and chasing them away. Come on. Uh, Humans are the one species that is incredibly not adapted to life on this planet. We cannot survive without tools. Other creatures might use tools or even make tools, but they can survive without tools. We can't. We don't have claws. We, except in very specific circumstances, we can't use our teeth as weapons. Not to kill prey and eat it anyway. Well, we can eat it, but we need tools to kill it. In most cases, we need clothing, in some isolated tropical areas or islands. Clothing might not be necessary, but that's what they call a lifeboat case. It's rare. And most of us wear shoes. And for good reason. Stinking nose. My nose is trying to get rid of the crud it's been breathing in. Whew. Well, I imagine they probably don't cook their dinner without an apron. Or a shirt, because if that grease splatters while you're frying something up, it hurts. Nudists, yeah. But you'll find that they do own clothing. Mm. Yes, clothes make the man, Witta. Mark Twain was very wise. Nudists are the outliers. Oh, my poor nose. Let's see. I pretty much killed 2 napkins. Do I have another one? Yes. Oh, man. I don't smell smoke, but it's obvious that my nose is breathing it in. Anyway, nowadays we could live without computers, but we don't. Yard work, I'm not doing any more yard work for now, because if I go outside and do physical work, I'll breathe in more crud. I might do a little today because it's cool. When it was really hot and really smoky, no way. But I'm good. At this point, it's a matter of topping the rose bushes so that they'll grow bushy again and recover from the massacre they suffered in July. You do not trim roses at all in the heat of summer. You wait for autumn. Yeah. My food stamps come into my card electronically, and I check the account on my phone. I haven't bought bus or train tickets in ages. Uh, but yeah, for all kinds of stuff. Like when the county was picking up yard waste and hauling it away for free, you had to sign up on the website. Oh, my poor nose. I don't really want a cigarette, but I want something. I pay most of my bills on websites. Uh, huh. Well, California has had a lot of forest fires this year. First, the excessive rainfall in 2023 made all the weeds grow taller and thicker. And then the heat wave dried them all out. And because of the environment, vast stretches of basically dried out kindling were not cleared. Ah, wow. Who remembers the Hallmark Hall of Fame? I've forgotten the actor's name, but he was made up to look like Mark Twain, and he'd deliver some of the speeches Mark Twain used to give in public appearances. At Sequentia, Nevada has a lot of desert, but it also has Lake Tahoe and Reno, and the northwest corner of Nevada, if you can afford to live there, is heaven. Yeah, Hal Holbrook. He did the Mark Twain thing on Hallmark Hall of Fame. My nose is driving me so crazy. The deserty part of Nevada is close to, or probably includes part of, Death Valley. All Ditch knows about the West Coast is what he learned from playing a trucking game. Well, Southern California has a lot of desert. A lot. Los Angeles is basically a desert, but you wouldn't know it. It's been paved over so thoroughly. We have a lot of salt water, like the Salton Sea. And it's pretty much established that Death Valley used to be a seabed. There was like an ocean there. That's why it has all these minerals, the salt and borax and so forth. Northern California is more heavily forested, and they get more rain than we do down here in the South. I haven't measured or looked it up, but I do know that from California to, the southern border of California to the northern border with Oregon is around 1,000 miles. That's just a ballpark figure. From like San Diego to Klamath Falls. Our traffic laws are so weird that nobody understands them. Yeah, they want big rig trucks to go slower than the cars, Ditch. 55 for commercial lanes. The cars can go 65 in most places, and I forget where it is, but I've driven one highway where the limit was 70. I'll bet you it was across the border into Nevada. I take it back, it wasn't California. Wow. Anyway, for a few years before people raised enough HE double toothpicks, the top speed limit anywhere in California was 55. It was supposed to save gas. Well, Most cars are designed to be more efficient at 65. But of course, politicians don't know anything about science. They just listen to the environmental nutbags. We all want a clean environment. We don't want trash everywhere. We do want clean water and clean air. We don't want to do stupid things that are actually bad for the environment in the name of the environment. Big earthquake on Catalina? Huh. I don't know. Freeman, even my quake alert on my phone isn't telling me anything. Let me open the app and see if it's sleeping. It's called My Shake. Well, it's only showing the one in Malibu. Uh, Come on. Weather, My Shake, earthquake detection mode. I guess it wasn't running. It's supposed to be running all the time. Ah. Let's see, my phone says it will get up to 71 degrees today, and it says it's 58, 59 right now. Okay. I don't know. I haven't felt a thing. Many years ago, I'm thinking 20 years ago, maybe not quite, more like 15 years ago, I did feel the Big Bear earthquake. That quake was on the mountain and rather large. But, the only damage was people's knickknacks falling off the shelf. I'm gonna scroll up the chat so I can read what Freeman said. Oh, come on, you evil computer. Try usgs.gov. I don't want to. Oh, Freeman, the northwest corner of Nevada is mountains and forests and really nice. If you could work it, you could live in uh, around Lake Tahoe, where there's no, on the Nevada side, where there's no income tax, and shop in Oregon, where there's no sales tax. Okay. Earthquake. Catalina Island today. Earthquaketrack.com says no earthquake today in the Gulf of Santa Catalina. Uh, 0 in the past 24 hours, 6 in the past 7 days. CBS News says there was a quake. No, that was in January. I don't know. Maybe a big truck slammed into her house. Hi, Dorothy. Welcome in. I'm kind of winding down right now, getting close to an hour and a half. Oh, man. And I'm really gotta do stuff today. Yeah, Ditch is gonna leave and do stuff too. The cats will appreciate it if I do stuff, and they'll quit begging for treats, or demand treats, I should say. So, thank you, not tea, all, and have a fantastic day. Uh, we'll talk about Philip K. Dick next week, Freeman, and the Matrix. Okay? Oh, wow. Anyway, I'm safe. Thank the Lord. And I'll catch you again later. I am. Ditch is leaving and I'm leaving. So I'll catch you all later. And Etsy Quentia, email me and I'll hook you up with Witta. Yeah, well, I'm 70 years old. I do the best I can with my health. And frankly, my immune system is darn good for my age. I went to usgs.gov, Freeman. Couldn't find anything. I'll try one more time before I close up. usgs.gov. Nope. There's a volcano advisory in Kilauea and an earthquake in New Guinea and the Malibu quake. That's all. So there. And I don't care. Yeah, there's one in Texas and one in Japan. Nothing there either, Witta. I'll see you guys later. So, in the meantime, be good, be well, and have a fantastic day.